This episode, we're talking about the movies that stuck with us and what they say about the way we see the world.
Let's load the file.
Smoke. That ain't your brother.
Sorry.
Oh, I got Tums.
Nice. What's something with Tums? I love me some Tums.
None of these are out of pocket. It's the most in-pocket
That's out of the
thing.
pocket,
It's
dude.
the most in-pocket thing you can say. Out of pocket's like
I
wild.
gotta be honest with you guys.
All
The
right.
Tums were on my desk.
Okay.
They weren't in my pocket.
What's
We
a
got liars now.
I feel ashamed.
Welcome back to the Save File. We're here to talk about whatever we want because this is our podcast and we can do whatever we want. We have a guest today. It's my older brother, Nathan. Nathan, say hello. Oh,
Hello.
he said hello. He said hello again.
the audio
And,
listeners won't be able to tell. They'll think that it's just you pretending to be your older brother, Chris. That's what they're gonna think.
Do we sound that
was
similar?
him pretending to be me and not me pretending to be him.
Yeah,
that
me
makes
not
feel
pretending to be
good.
him. That makes me feel good, Shaler.
I don't know what you're talking. You sound the same. I can't tell who's talking to me right now.
Wild.
I watched that clip. I've seen that clip of Patrick Warburton doing the Kronk thing with his three sons. I just saw it again, and it's so funny because it's like one of them nails it, and the other two are like good enough, but like one of them really sounds just like him. I don't know if we sound that similar. We obviously have similar tones and whatever, but I don't know. I thought I could tell us apart.
In live, like in person, you don't sound the same, but over audio, it's a little hard to tell the difference.
Oh, is the water part of the segment? Hold on.
Yeah, get your water out, dude.
There you go.
Wow, dude.
Wait, let's do. Wait, let's
Someone's
go for
overcompensating.
Christian and I have slightly different types of lists.
this.
We both have a list, but it's a little bit different.
Let's go for the swallow. Hold on.
No.
Did you get it?
I didn't get it. Try it again. No, don't do that. Just kidding.
All right. Well, we already said welcome, so we're here now. This is happening. Thanks, Nathan, for coming on. We'll probably ask you a few questions up front, just so audience perspective can get to know you, because I know you pretty well, I think. Well, a little bit. And Shaler knows you a little bit, but not...
I'm fighting the urge to just argue with you on everything you say, whether I agree or not. So
That's a different podcast. That's not this one. It's a future podcast. All right, so my first question is... So obviously I said, you're my older sibling. We are about a year and a half. I think we're like a year and 4 months or something apart. How does it feel to be a middle child? Because I am a baby, and Shaler is older of two. So I asked Carlos this question when he was our guest. So I'm curious, how is it genuinely? Like, you can give him a joke bit, but I'm curious, like, your thoughts on being the middle child.
Carlos, you had on as a guest before me. Your own
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
Before your own brother.
Yeah.
I don't know what it feels like because I don't know anything else. So this is all I got. I also get confused because it's like there's technically multiple middle brothers, right? Because I have an older brother as well. You have two older brothers, so I
have
feel
two?
like I definitely have more.
It's more
of
unique.
The classic social media-esque middle child syndrome vibes. Whereas, like, I feel like I need attention more than Matthew probably does. But it was funny. I was walking outside of my car, like, I don't know, a week ago, and this one of my neighbors who I've never met, never talked to, she stopped me and was like, "You remind me so much of my middle child." And I was like, 3 of 4, and I kept walking. So
She's like, that jacket, my little one wears one just like that. Like, what does she mean?
I don't know. I think it's just like middle children are often like the performers, right? Like they want attention, which is weird because you have some middle child vibes, Christian, as well. But like, I don't know what to make of it.
I got it. 'Cause, I mean, you do walk downstairs and you do like a cartwheel every time you hit the bottom. So I guess I would probably think you were a middle child.
How dare you? I'm not that physically whimsical.
After I let people know that you can do that. It's a secret. He actually can do it. He's keeping up the lie right now. Second
Everybody's just
question.
gonna be like, do a cartwheel.
Second question. Do you see the world more as a problem to solve, a story to experience, or a mystery to explore? I know you can't pick two.
It's a giant petri dish filled with a bunch
It
of
wasn't
little
one of the
bacteria.
options.
Almost be annihilated. What was the three again?
A problem to solve,
Okay.
a story to experience, or a mystery to explore.
Probably mystery of those three. If you put a gun to my head and forced me to choose, probably mystery.
Well,
I
Shaler,
was-
put the gun down. Shaler, no. What are you doing? Don't put a gun
Hey,
to his
man.
head just because
Hey.
he said it.
That's what I'm here for. I'm kind of the enforcer, so
I'm so glad you traveled all the way to Arizona just for this.
You are the villain
Yeah,
of the
man.
podcast. We talked about
that's
that.
true. I am. Yep. So
That's weird because Christian's the villain in my life, so I'm not sure how
I
to
thought somebody else was the
Zing.
villain in your life.
Well,
Wait, you have multiple
that's
villains.
for another podcast.
That's-
I think the last one probably is a mystery is the more interesting version because I think the world is like I don't think anything's set in motion, so I can't really put it as a story because I feel like a story requires intention. I can't really see it as a problem because it's just kind of something that is. So I guess the last one is the one that fits the most, where it's just like there's a lot that we don't know. You know, that we don't know like how most of the brain works. That's a mystery.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know.
It's good. All right, cool. Just curious. I like asking those questions. Kind of gauges where people kind of see the world and the
Well,
perspective.
Nathan,
they
we
might
want to know
have.
how stupid you are, so let's find out.
Well, we're a petri dish first. That was your first instinct, was to say
Well, we
we're
are a petri dish. We're an infection on the face of the planet. We need to be taken out.
So on this, how do I segue? How do I get out of this?
it's
The bubble.
a dark turn.
How do I get out of this weird
How
hole?
do I get out of this weird hole? So this episode topic, we presented Nathan with the option to come up with a topic as well as come up with a question we can answer later in the episode.
Oh no, my Mac just told me that my computer might restart in 36 seconds, so if it does, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god!
Sailor was right, it's the cursed one.
Nailed it. I
Wait,
called it, man.
wait. It said it might do it. It's like, haha, that's a little cheeky. It's like I might restart.
No, it was like, it's going to restart in 36 seconds. And I was like, okay.
I pictured Clippy coming up. He's just like, I might restart. He just comes up in the corner.
Yeah, it's the
Maybe I'll
little.
restart. Maybe I won't.
We've never run into this before. So can you put it off or do you have to restart it?
I don't know. That's my answer. We'll find out.
I guess we can keep it here and see if he can leave and comes back, or we can like end it and just start it up again. I can edit this clip in because it'll say. I think I can probably do that.
I feel like
I
it's
don't
been
know.
longer than 30 seconds, and I'm still here, so maybe we keep at it. Sorry to interrupt you.
I guess if he disappears, we'll know what happened.
Yes, Shaler finally.
It won't be a mystery.
Got to me.
So we
I pulled the
presented.
trigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll just insert a gun sound. End of the podcast right there. All right. So we gave Nathan the option to come up with a topic as well as a question we can answer later. I also mentioned to you that the Oscars were yesterday, so if we ever have any tidbits on that, we can explore that a little bit if we have time. But this week we're talking about the movies we'd pass down, films that may not be our like absolute favorites, but ones that mean something deeper to us. We'll explore why they stuck with us and what they reveal about the way we see the world. So thank you for bringing that topic. It's a good one. I think me and Shayla both had some fun coming up with some movies that maybe had meaning or depth or just some justification to why they might be our favorites. I know I did. I don't want to speak for Shayla. Maybe he hated it. I don't know.
I didn't hate it, but it was. I struggled, but I have some.
I have like 10 and probably 15 if I.
Shayla's like, I came up with 1.5.
Yeah, I like the first half of this movie. Actually, true. I did come up with 1.5. That's actually true. I didn't like the rest of the movie, but I liked the beginning part of the movie. So, dang it. No, I have a little more than that. But
I don't know how we want to lead it, Nathan. If you want to start with one, like I have. Wait, how many do I have? I have 5 that we can go through. Shayla, really, do you have like a couple? Nathan, you don't have to go through 10 if we have time. So I don't know if you want to start with one and we can go like one at a time. Nathan, you want to go first, and Shayla then me, and we can go in a circle.
Yeah, we can see about time. Like I have 5, and then I have other ones. Like if we need more time, or if we just want alternates because we have duplicates on the list or something.
Okay, we'll go in rotation. We'll do one at a time.
Okay, so the first movie on my list was Real Steel from 2011.
Shayla, have you seen that?
Is that the? I don't know. Just thought you asked that. Have you seen that? That's the one with Hugh Jackman, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay. Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Christian, have you seen it?
Yes.
Just
It's
kidding.
hit like Rock'em Sock'em Robots comes to life, kind of.
Kind
Not
of.
better than that.
So I put this on there because when I was thinking about this, and I was thinking like, so I love movies, right? Like it's my whole thing. I love movies. I watch a lot of movies. I've made short films and stuff before, so I love movies. So when I was thinking about what kind of movies I want to add on the list, I was like, I don't want to go to the usual suspects in terms of like putting the same movies I answer all the time for like these are my favorite or these are my Letterboxd top 4. I wanted to do something where it's like, what's a movie that I like and I rewatch and like I have an emotional reaction to that I think more people should try. So I put Real Steel on there, and so I saw this at the movie theater when it came out, and then have watched it probably once a year or once every other year since it came out. And it is the story of a washed-up boxer who gets into robot fighting, and he, through a series of circumstances, winds up having custody of his son that he doesn't spend really much of any time with. And Hugh Jackman's character is focused on himself. Like he was a boxer, he was so internally focused and focused on what he wanted that he kind of did not have a relationship. Not kind of, he just straight up did not have a relationship with this kid at all. And then the kid winds up in his lap. It's not like a unique setup for a movie. There's been plenty of other movies that have done something similar, but the way in which they execute on it, I just really, really like it. And I think the big reason is because Hugh Jackman and the actor that plays his son they're so contentious through the whole movie. Like they come together at some point, spoiler alert, but they have this relationship where it's like, the dad is not picture perfect. He's not like the dads in all the movies or the dads where it's like, well, I want a dad that does XYZ thing. Like the dad kind of remains selfish throughout a big majority of it. And his character arc is about learning to be less selfish. I would say that the kid's character arc is kind of learning about opening up, being more emotional and willing to like accept problems and like maybe see your parents more as human beings rather than this thing that you think that they're going to be. That being said, the dad's clearly in the wrong in this movie, just like abandoning your kid and not being there. But it's not like the dad just shows up and is like, I'm a dad now and I'm going to do all the 15,000 things that it requires to be a dad effectively. It's like he shows up, he continues to fall and trip and make an ass of himself. And despite all of his shit and all of his son's shit, like they still start connecting over the robot boxing, which it's pretty cool. The robot boxing, like the effects still hold up really well. Christian was right. It is like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the movie, but there's a lot of themes in there about growing and forgiveness and reconciliation. And I just think that it's a movie that it can fit well if you want to watch it with family. It can fit well if you want to enjoy something that you just have like a little emotional experience where it's not like draining you at the end of the movie or something that's not sending you spiraling. But I'm interested in what both of your memories are of that movie.
Okay.
I gotta get this out because he said something
Okay,
about
he's gonna get
abandoning
it
his
out.
child.
He's gonna get it out.
I've abandoned my child.
I've abandoned my boy.
Abandoned my boy. I had to get out from
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. It's not even that old, but like in the grand scheme of obviously like our lives, it's not that old. But I remember liking it a good amount. I do remember some of those dynamics. I could understand why you would recommend it to someone as like kind of an underdog movie. It feels like it got a little bit of light, but not enough time.
Over time, I feel like more and more people appreciate it and like it.
But yeah, it's been like a long time. Shader, did you say you have seen it or you haven't seen that one?
Yeah, no, I think I saw it in the theater. Same. I don't know that I have watched it since. But it is an interesting. Nathan, you talked about the concept of like it's Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I feel like they've done that in a few movies, but it's very hard to do. But to take a concept like that, that's kind of it's not necessarily the central point of the movie. Obviously, the emotional piece, I think, is probably more the central point of the film and what you're meant to kind of get out of it. But it kind of revolves around like this kid's game. It's almost like Pacific Rim, except for I never saw Pacific Rim. I've never heard anything great about it, but they kind of maybe missed some of that aspect of like, let's take a board game concept or some game, but let's not make it about the game. Let's make it about the actual human emotion that's like kind of surrounding it, and then we'll put this kind of cool concept of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but a giant robots made of steel or something, you know. So I feel like they've done that in a few select movies. It's not easy to do, and not a lot of people can pull it off. I feel like a lot of that stuff is just kind of grab, you know, like, oh, it's a cool idea, let's just do it, sci-fi or, you know, something like that. But they miss kind of that key theme of like, let's make it more about the people involved versus the actual concept that the movie kind of is built around. So again, don't remember it perfectly, but that's, as you're kind of talking, that stuck out to me as like, that's a piece of like cinema that's, if they can pull it off, they really, that's the way to do it. Make it less about
the simplicity. Like they use it in a simplicity, like there's a simple way.
There's a sea of big robot movies, and it definitely for me stands out in the sea of big robot movies. And it's like the first Transformers movie. Like there's something emotional about that movie, and it's the same thing with Real Steel. There's something emotional. The spoiler alert: Real Steel means multiple things. It means these robots are really made of steel. But what about the steel courage of our hearts? You know, like. Yep. There's also something in the movie, Christian's face.
I'm just kidding.
There's something in the movie I did want to mention real quick, and then we can move on to one of y'all's first picks. But there's the robot that they find. His name's Adam, and they dig him out of the mud, and he's like a sparring robot. He's like not meant to be fighting. He's meant to be there for practice and for training and to take a beating. Like that's what he's there for. And he has a function. It's a shadow function where instead of needing like a remote control, they have the robot can just copy the actions of like what a person's doing. So of course like that comes into play over the plot where it's like Hugh Jackman is like not only like earning a stronger relationship with his kid, but he is earning his way back through the boxing part of his life. So it's kind of like, here's how you can have something that's important to you in your life and still be a parent. Like those two things where it's like, it's not mutually exclusive where you have to do one thing and not the other. And I really appreciate that.
It's a good one. I'll have to rewatch it. I wonder if I'll have a different take on it. Shirley, you might have a whole different take on it, like that you have kids and stuff now, so like maybe...
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be a good one to go back and watch.
I did not expect that one to be on his list. He's brought that up a few times as a movie he really likes, but I did not... Like, if you told me, like, right now, like, guess the movies on your list, I don't think I would have put that one on there.
Guess all the movies on my list right now, Christian. Go ahead.
Never. Now I'm going to get them all wrong. All right, Shayla, you're next. Go ahead.
It's going to ruin his egomania. He's not going to be able to deal with it.
You want me to follow Nathan, dude? That's like pearls before swine, dude.
I like this podcast. We should do this more.
Yeah. That was a good one. It was like such an underdog pick with like great meaning behind it. Well, I guess we'll just get this over with.
It's just like Transformers 2.
Yeah, Transformers 2. No.
It's all robot movies. That's really the prompt.
I was gonna. So the one that I was kind of a halfway. We'll do that one that I kind of halfway like. The whole movie's good for what it is, but I just remember. I think I saw them out of order, so I have this memory in my brain of like being maybe 11 or 12 at some kid's house in my neighborhood. He wasn't really a friend; he was like a friend of a friend, and his parents were maybe a little loose in terms of like they had young kids, but they had 28 Weeks Later like playing on their TV, and it's pretty like the intros. It was like the very beginning, and there's like an 8-year-old or 9-year-old in the house, like just like running around.
Oh yeah,
not like
yeah,
young kids, like young kids, just and they're just
28
popping
weeks
in
later?
28 weeks later. Weeks,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that your movie?
Yeah, it's I was gonna say a combo. It's actually that one's fine. The intro's great, like where he's like running away, leaves his family.
You get an
Pretty
understanding of like
emotional.
how the zombies
I like
are
the whole
impactful
movie.
in
I
that
like all
movie.
of it.
Yeah, the whole movie. 28 Weeks is. I probably like the whole movie. I don't know. They're both good for different reasons, but what I was gonna say is 28 Days Later. I think I went back at some point and watched that later and finally made the connection that they were related. You know, when I was a little older and could handle watching people's, get their flesh ripped out of their body. But just that it was.
That's what led to your career in executing people.
Exactly. Yeah. It was probably the first movie that there's probably been some that have done it, but it's the one that I recognize as the first movie to kind of create that sense of isolation. You've got Cillian Murphy walking through the streets of London, totally like nobody there, right? And it's just like it's a pretty decently long scene of him just walking through, trying to figure out like what's going on, what's happening. And
They
just
really make you
this-
visualize, like you can really feel the desolation. in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange too because you go to like, I didn't get this sense from maybe you did, but like I Am Legend is even it's supposed to be next level to that, right? Where it's like he's very much the last person on Earth. 28 Days Later, Weeks Later, they're still people, and even outside of Great Britain, there's still the world is mostly functioning fine. I Am Legend is very much like. Nobody's left. He's more or less the last person. But that one I didn't get that same. The Will Smith version didn't get the same feeling that you get from that kind of shot in 28 Days Later. So, anyways, whole movie is good. It's just some of it, down the road, it gets kind of slow at some parts or whatever. It's still a great movie, but just for whatever reason, that specific scene of him walking through London and then the change of pace as soon as the zombies find him and he's got to start booking it, just very visceral, both from the isolation and loneliness to straight to the terror of like something is terribly wrong and he's got to kind of acclimate to that new environment. So I don't know, something about the loneliness and the isolation that kind of connected with me. I don't know, for whatever reason. I liked the book. I Am Legend does a really good job of that as well, and that's one of my probably top 5 books that I'd ever recommend to somebody because it's so vastly different than like you really feel like you're alone, that this man is alone on the earth. So kind of an interesting feeling.
Is that book? Well, first off, I want to say visceral is like the right word to describe the 28 movies. I feel like they're, especially the first one, I feel like you really feel the reality of how horrifying that can be, especially whether it's just like I said, how desolate everything feels, or just like how, like you said, visceral it becomes when the violence starts to strike.
Yeah.
The I Am Legend thing is so interesting to me. Was that original book called Omega Man? Because I know the original movie was called Omega Man. Our mom wouldn't not shut up about it. She was like, the original was called Omega Man or whatever. And I
Keep
was
our
like,
mom's name out of your mouth.
but I don't remember if the book was called that originally, like the OG book, and then
It
I
wasn't.
Am Legend is a rebrand. I
Well,
don't know.
OG.
there's a ton. There's Why the Last Man. There's the Omega Man. There's
Yeah.
I've never thought of that connection from 28 Days to like I Am Legend before, but like it seems so obvious like once you said it. but there's a lot of movies that are like isolated, like Shayla was talking about. Some of my favorite episodes of TV are like bottle episodes, right, where it happens in a smaller contained location. And so 28 Days Later and I Am Legend, they kind of scratch that similar itch where it's like, this is something happening small with one person. Part of me wonders, it's like, how much of this is like the male fantasy thing where it's just like, I'm a hero, I'm last man standing.
Yeah.
Like, how much of that is like creeping in? But
I don't know about you guys. I don't have
I was
fantasies of.
not anticipating someone to say 28 Days Later. So when you brought that up, I think I brought up the email because this is the original thing that I sent to Christian. I think it would be fun if we had a list of 5 or 10 movies that we would want to share with friends or family. So
28 Days
I'm
Later,
just
man.
imagining, because Shayla, you have young kids, right? I'm just imagining you being like, "You're 8 now. It's time for 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Get on the couch and don't move."
Yeah, no, I probably was a little bit like you, Nathan, in the sense that I didn't want to just pick, the typical stuff. I wanted to. I was trying to connect with whatever it was emotionally. So at 8 years old, probably not. But when they get older, I might say, "Hey, look, maybe not the movie, but go read." I love, like, I Am Legend is probably where a lot of that
I do not think you would
stems
show that
from,
movie to an 8-year-old. Just to be clear.
No. Yeah, but no, I think at some point,
I love
just
it.
the same with like. For whatever, if you love The Walking Dead, awesome. If you watched all seasons, totally, it's whatever, your prerogative. But I think that if they would have stopped after episode 1, I would have been like, that's a masterpiece. Like, get up and clap. That's awesome. It's just Rick waking up, same thing, wakes up from a coma, walking around, some zombies crawling after him on the ground. It's like super freaky, and you're like, okay, that's pretty. Ends with him in the tank, I think, right? All those zombies are like climbing up over the tank, and that's kind of where it's like, that's a great ending. Perfect.
28 Days also has like the really strong like desperation thing that it does better, and I think part of it is like the handheld. The cinematography style, like handheld camera for the most part, right? Like it's not meant to be pretty. It's meant to make you feel kind of like you're there. It's not a handheld movie. It's not like Paranormal Activity or something
Found
like
footage.
that.
No.
Yeah, it's not found footage, but it feels almost like found footage, but like in a really visceral way. So like by the time you get to the end and they make the classic zombie movie point where they're like, the humans are worse. Like they usually do. Like, it's a good movie, and Danny Boyle directed it, and he's in one of his movies is in my honorable mentions list. If we have time, we can get to it at the end.
All right.
That Danny Boyle, he knows what he's doing.
It's a good
He
one.
does.
All right, I will jump in with not necessarily an unpopular pick by any means, but an oldie but goodie that like I probably watch at least once a year now. I only saw it a couple years ago for the first time. Is
it The Report on Amazon Prime?
No, it's not The Report on Amazon Prime. Sorry, Adam Driver. So it's Rear Window. It's Hitchcock's Rear Window, which I love. I love this movie for various reasons, but I think it appeals to me because it's essentially like a masterclass in storytelling, like perspective, showing how much tension and meaning can come from like simply observing human behavior. I'm someone who is like a huge people watcher. I literally was I'm doing a rewatch of the show ER, and there's this guy who's like in a bed in a hall because they're out of rooms, and he goes, the doctor walks by and goes, "We're going to try to get your room." He goes, "I don't mind that. I like people watching." I'm like, "Sarah, that'd be me." I'd be like, I'll sit in the hallway as long as I'm not dying.
Of times Christian has just brought up his Ring camera, and he's like, "Look what's going on in the Ring camera."
It's like a whole TV show. Yeah, I mean, like when you're with Rear Window, it's like you're watching, these characters. They feel like really real people, and you get to study their motivations and the voyeurism that this film allows. Like, it looks into these different lives that vary across the board, like so drastically. Some of them you get to know very little about, and some of them you dive pretty heavy into. But Nathan used the scratch the itch thing, but that scratches like an analytical itch for me, just curiosity, and always just like, what's going on over there, and like, can I involve myself if needed? Not like I'm just gonna go over there, but like it just feels like, I don't know. There's something about that. I don't know what pulls that. It like pulls me into that. I like trying to understand people, why they do the things that they do, and Rear Window is like the first step in that process. Is just discovery.
It's funny
so I love
because it's
that one.
kind of also like I Am Legend in 28 Days Later, right? Where you have one person doing one thing alone, and it's like it's kind of the hero thing in there too, where it's like one man against the world, like kind of thing, which I just thought was an interesting parallel.
Apparently, Shaler's fantasy though, he's like a cool guy with a gun maybe, and he's on a mission, and I'm like a guy with a broken leg and a camera. Like I chose a much lamer version.
You have a beautiful girlfriend who's like constantly checking on you, and all these people
true.
are like, "We need you to do this thing." Like,
And I got a cool accent. I got that transatlantic accent or whatever. I'm just like, oh, what are you saying?
throw a lasso around the moon. I'll bring it down for you.
But yeah, that one always sticks with me. I feel like there's been like Disturbia is kind of a remake of that, like a spiritual successor to that, because it's the same type of idea of like seeing something go down. Although it's more centralized to
thriller.
one person, and it's also more like thriller horror in a certain way.
Have you seen Rear Window, Sheila?
Yeah, I saw once in high school during a cinematography class I had. So I have not watched it since, and I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember the general premises. Yeah,
I watched it because like Disturbia came out when we were all like in high school, but I watched Rear Window. I want to say like probably just after high school, maybe the first year of college or something. But then I watched it as an adult, and it is. As your brain gets older, right, that frontal lobe develops, and you just learn to like slow down and like appreciate stuff more.
Yeah.
So like watching Rear Window as an adult just hits really, really different because it's the same thing Chris was talking about. Like Disturbia is kind of the same thing. Disturbia is like the fast-paced version of Rear Window. I really enjoy Disturbia, and I really similar feeling about Rear Window. I just think it's fantastic, and it plays like a mystery, right? And that's why like all these like little lives are so interesting, and that's kind of why I think Christian likes like with the people on the Ring camera, where it's kind of like, what are you doing? What's going on here? So it's like when you're when you're watching Rear Window and you see these couple that like, oh, they're putting their bed on their fire escape and they're sleeping on it at night, and it's like, well, what's going on with them? Like, what's happening here? Or you see the woman working on her flower bed, and then he's confined to his room, he's confined to the windows. So like this stuff, he needs it to be interesting. Yeah. So when all the people around him are like, well, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's happening here, they're just like, come on, you're just bored, you need this to be true. But I really enjoyed Rear Window.
No, it's an interesting take on it. Yeah, I need to go back and and watch it and try to have a little more appreciation than 17-year-old Shaler certainly had for it. So just get through this so I can pass the test on it and be done.
It's so funny because like I remember reading some of those books like Fahrenheit 451 or Gatsby or some of those, and I remember liking Gatsby a good amount in high school, but I also remember going through a lot of those books and being like, yeah. But then right after, like in my 20s, I remember like either rereading some of them, and like Fahrenheit 451, I remember appreciating it like way more of like the message of books. When you're in school, it's just the classic thing of like you tell someone to listen to a band and they're like, nah. And then 5 years later they're listening to it, they have stickers on their car and they know them, and you're like, I told you to listen to this band forever ago. It's just because like you're being told to do it, you don't want to do it.
Yep.
But
no,
I'm sure a lot of Hitchcocks hold up pretty well because I've watched a few of the recent years and they do. That definitely is one of them. All right, Nathan, you're up.
Okay, so my next one is Hell or High Water from 2016. Have either of you seen it?
I have seen that. I'm trying to remember who's in it. You might want to like look it up, Google it.
I haven't seen it. I think it's got Chris Pine in it though, doesn't it?
It's Chris Pine and Ben Foster. It got nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards in the 2016 Academy Awards when it came out. It's about
no Wolverine in this one though.
No Wolverine in this one, but you never know. He could pop up later. Actually, I don't think he will, but you never know.
Ben Foster is an X-Men, so
yeah, he's Angel in X-Men: The Last Stand.
True.
We all remember him.
This is the theme of Nathan's picks. There's some X-Men in the mix somewhere.
Now I'm looking at the rest of my list, and I'm like, are there any more X-Men? So Hell or High Water is two brothers that are robbing banks, and there's a reason they're robbing the banks. But part of the finding out the why of it, like why they're robbing the banks, is part of like the. If I were to get into too much detail about it, it would kind of it would be at the expense of the emotional integrity of the movie, the part that kind of makes it work. But basically, they have a good reason that they're robbing these banks, and the way that it's shot is it's such a patient movie. It's not slow, but it's got a strong amount of action in it. Not a strong amount. Let me walk that back. It has a fair amount of action in it for the type of movie that it is, but it stays very grounded. There's a very good reason why they're kind of robbing banks in this. And there's also a father-son theme in Hell or High Water, because at some point in the movie, Chris Pine has to go back to his home with his ex-wife, who's like watching over their kids and everything. And his son, and they're in the backyard and they're talking, and his son is basically like, "Oh, I want to be like you one day," and his dad's like, "Absolutely not. You need to be better than me. Like, you can't. The type of life I'm living is not for you. So it's not for you. It's not a good way to go about living your life." And the way that it all kind of crescendos in the end, where all the pieces fall, and it's just fantastic. Quick aside: have either of you seen Creed with Michael? I'm sorry, Academy Award winner Michael B. Jordan.
I haven't seen the third one, but I've seen the first two.
Yeah.
There is an exceptional part in that movie. That movie is exceptional across the board, but there's a really exceptional part in that movie where he gets the crap beat out of him, and his eyes are kind of like swollen up. And Ryan Coogler and his team, and the way that they shoot it, he's got a. Rocky puts his hands on the back of Creed's neck, and the ref is like, "Tell me how many fingers I'm holding up." And Rocky knows. He's like, "There's no way he can see." But the camera, you can see Rocky's hand on the back of Michael B. Jordan's neck, and you see Michael B. Jordan talking to the ref. And so when the ref puts up 3 fingers, Rocky does 1, 2, 3, like on the back of his neck, so Creed can answer the question appropriately. And it's all, nobody sits there, nobody explains it to you, no character says it out loud, like, "That's why I touched the back of your neck 3 times. It's just like, that is like ultimate filmmaking, and
It's trusting your audience.
It's trusting your audience. It's the use of the visuals. It's the use of your performers to make that the audience is going to pick up on it. And Hell or High Water doesn't have anything that's like as big as that, but there is kind of a reveal towards the end of the movie that's kind of in line with like why they're doing it of it all. And it's a very subtle shot where you just see this thing in the background, and it is exceptional storytelling because it's visual storytelling. It is what the medium of movies are. It's what the median. It's a visual medium. Movies and cinema and even TV, especially modern TV. It's a visual medium. So when someone communicates a lot of information to the audience without words, without an exposition dump, I'm very impressed by it. And there's something really amazing towards the end of Hell or High Water that kind of hits that similar vibe that moment in Creed does. So that being said, it's got a lot of good themes about brotherhood, about parenthood in it, about cops and robbers. Jeff Bridges plays, I believe is a U.S. Ranger, like hot on their tail, across rural Texas. I believe it's rural Texas. Highly, highly recommend. It's very good. Christian, I know you saw it. Anything you want to add?
I also remember liking that movie quite a bit. When you did the tangent on Creed, I pictured Sylvester Stallone putting his hand on the back of Creed from The Office. Like, sorry, I kept saying Creed, and my brain was picturing something. I remember liking that movie too. I remember it really. I think it had me engaged pretty much throughout. But I think I also liked. the dynamic of the actors that they happened to choose for it. I thought it was really good. I don't remember how it made me feel necessarily, because like I only watched it once and it was a long time ago. I don't know if that would be like a rewatchable movie for me. I don't know if it is for you or not. Like every few years you might. I don't know. Like some movies I can watch multiple times a year. I could see myself watching it again, but I haven't watched it in a while. But Shayla probably would. I think you'd get enjoyment out of it. I don't know if he cares to watch it or not, but if Nathan, you want to spoil anything, but
No, I don't want to spoil anything. Okay. Every 2 or 3 years I'll watch it, but like the big thing for me is like sibling movies will get me, just because the siblings in our family, like we grew up kind of tight knit, right? Where it was like we're so close in age, Christian, like we're just around each other so much while we were growing up, and just that's a big reason sibling movies kind of get to me. And Ben Foster and Chris Pine are brothers, so
it's good. It's a good one. Shayla, you're up to bat. What's your other half?
8 weeks later, they're all 28 days movies.
Yeah, it's all zombie movies. I don't know. I'll go a different direction. There's no necessary.
The Report on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, The Report.
He doesn't get the inside joke. He can't do.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so quick aside. I love The Report on Amazon Prime. It's not on my list, Christian, so calm down. But I would forget, and I legitimately forgot like 6 times that I asked Christian, like, have you watched The Report on Amazon Prime yet? And I kept adding on Amazon Prime so I could be like, efficiency of information, I'm telling him where it is. And every time he's like, you already asked me this. I haven't watched it. And then like the 3rd time, he's like, I watched it. We already talked about it. So now, whenever he's like trying to think of a movie, I'm like, The Report on Amazon Prime. Probably, huh?
Now
That's
he's
a
made
good
it an
one.
outside joke because
Now I've made it an outside joke.
Now we all get it. These I'm gonna do a list because they're all in the same category that are not critically acclaimed or anything of that nature. But just for me, grew up on them and they've always held a special place in my heart. But you've got Tommy Boy, Billy Madison, Ace Ventura, just the collective trio of nice. He's got it. Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, those classic kind of 90s comedies, early 2000 comedies. And I don't know what it is about them. I think people either love them or hate them. And they're just, they're
It's
just
funny
classic.
that you say that, too, because like I love Tommy Boy. Black Sheep's fine. It kind of feels like a sequel that's like trying to recreate Tommy Boy, but I love Tommy Boy. I like pretty much every early Adam Sandler one, except for Little Nicky. I feel like rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It was too caricature-y.
What about things you like, Christian? How about you list something you like?
What I was gonna say is Ace Ventura also is another thing. I love Jim Carrey. Those movies I like them. So I was kind of maybe
of your next words.
I was probably
Ventura.
Not an anomaly, but I'm somewhere in the middle where it's like I like it, but like I didn't get like the like obsessive love for them. I get Jim Carrey and I get why he's great and like
Hitler
he's great in
standing
it.
behind you with a gun.
But I just didn't gravitate towards them, and I gravitated towards other Jim Carrey movies for sure. And I don't know why; it just wasn't one that like pulled me in. I haven't watched it in a while, and I remember the first one, if I recall, people liking the first one better than the second one. But maybe I'm wrong about
So,
that.
Shayla, from that list, what's your favorite one? Like, what's your go-to on that list? Or does any of them stand out?
I probably laughed the hardest at. I probably laughed the hardest at Ace Ventura 2. So to not a
Ace
rebuttal.
That's Ace Ventura. It's perfect. That is the correct answer.
It's not the first one's great, and I don't know that I could say that the second or they're both good. Like, but the scene of him coming out of the rhino, I couldn't handle it, man. Like that was just it was too much for me.
There are so many lines from both that I quote like at least every week. So like in the first one, when he goes to get in the dolphin tank And he's like, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Yeah,
I love that one.
that's a good.
And then in the second one, when he sends the slinky down all the steps at the beginning,
Yeah.
and he gets to the bottom, and on the last one, the slinky doesn't go, and he picks it up. He's like, "Can I go again?" And the guy's like, "We have a flight to do, we're gonna miss it." And he's like, "Well, I guess we're just gonna do everything you want to do."
Yeah.
See, I don't remember these moments. I need to rewatch that movie, I guess.
Well, that's
You
because
do,
you're a
yeah.
hater, Christian.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
No, those ones are good, but I will say, I think Tommy Boy is probably the one that it has. I don't know if it's stuck with me. Something about Tommy Boy though just has a special place in my heart. So
Be
again,
honest, Christian. Is it
Not
on
right
your list?
here, or right here, but right here.
here.
Nope, ship shape.
Be honest,
is-
Christian. Is it on your list?
No, Tommy Boy wasn't, because I remember Shayla and me were kind of throwing a few things around, and he mentioned Tommy Boy, so I was like, it probably would have made my list, but you were going to bring it up.
You just
So
happen
was
to
gonna
have your
happen, man.
steelbook in arm's reach.
yeah, I have a bunch of stuff over here, actually. I happen to be sitting on it.
You could have used this as your out of the pocket. I could have said, "Quit playing with your dinghy." I missed my chance, dude.
Playing with your dinghy. Did you eat paint chips as a kid? Why?
Tommy Walt, maybe.
Why?
Sheila, what are some of your favorite like moments from Tommy Boy? Like whether it's a joke or it's just the emotional part.
It does have good emotion. I'm not gonna lie. It does have some
does,
good
yeah.
stuff in it. Yeah.
It does.
That's a good. It is a good like. Honestly, like. Well, so I've done sales off and on. I've been a salesperson for 2 years of my
Same.
career, but I've spent my entire career doing some form of selling, even if it wasn't full time. And so it resonates with me as I've gotten older. You know, he's the line that I use the most. Not in a sales conversation. I should, because it's a great line, but I use it with my wife or whatever. I can't even think of the context, but I'll say,
You're just like that guy in a little cup.
no, I
You
say
can get a good look at a bowl. Or
yeah,
whatever.
I just say the last part though. I say, no, wait, it's got to be your bowl, because he messes the joke up at some point. He's like, he's trying to say so. He's like, you can get a good look at a T-bone. I don't know how he messes it up, but
By sticking your head up a
anyways,
bull's ass.
yeah,
Wouldn't
that's
you
the
rather
real.
take
That's the
what
good.
your
That's
word
the
for it?
actual.
That's what the
joke,
dad
right?
actually
But-
says. Yeah,
yeah.
he says it all introverted. Yeah.
But he like messes the phrasing up, and he's like, "Wait, no, it's got to be your bowl."
gotta
I
be
say that all the time. I don't know why, but
a good one.
that's a good one. But yeah, I was gonna say my favorite part is when he's got the roll and he's got his pet. It's like his sale is his pet, and he's like massaging it, and stroking it, and then he makes that visceral noise when he just shreds it, and you're just like, oh man, I don't know how he does it, but it's good. And then the meat wagon. I use that one a lot too.
That's
In
I
comes
was
the
gonna
meat
say
wagon.
The two that stick with me, I like the one of them. I don't know why it does, but the one when he's like, whenever I'm like moving quick or I jump for some reason around Sarah, I'll be like, I got cat-like speed and reflexes.
Yeah.
And he gets hit by the thing. He's like, ugh. But then
I
the
love-
car one, the meat wagon one, whenever someone says like, oh damn it, like whenever they get mad, I'm just like,
Here goes the
not
meat
now.
wagon.
I
Yeah.
gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy. I always start quoting that, and it's like, I feel like it's such a memorable scene that I don't know if he improv that, but it feels like he did if he didn't.
I love when
Yeah.
little lines like that, Shayla, like the one you said that you like mentioned to your wife. I love when it's like it communicates a sea of information in
Yeah.
like 4 words because you've both seen the movie and you're like, we know what's trying to be
It's not even the full
communicated.
quote. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not a full quote or something. It just doesn't make any sense. So,
Yeah.
like, the Grinch from 2000 just filled, and it's not on my list, Christian, but
It's on
filled-
my list though.
It should be.
Honorable mention.
It should be on mine. There is a joke where he goes to the jubilation and he meets his old biddies again, and the camera cuts to Jim Carrey, and he's just like, "Are you two still living?"
Yeah.
Like me and my best friend just say that to each other at random as like a hello. It doesn't mean anything. It's just like he uses it like to greet them.
Yeah.
So like we just say the same thing. It's just nonsense.
That one's full of that stuff too. The Grinch is good.
Yeah, there's-
The kids have been kind of crazy lately. It feels like more than usual. So I've been telling them they're like the Who's from Whoville. I say, you guys are acting like the Who's from Whoville. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? I say, you guys are relentless. They don't get it, but I get
They
it.
don't get it, yeah.
I get
They're
it.
relentless.
But I get it.
They're relentless. Advarkian, who I hate you.
Yeah.
Don't get me off on a Grinch tangent. That'll be the whole rest of the episode.
We'll do that. We'll do a Christmas special.
Me off on a Grinch tangent. Christian, your turn.
All right.
Or Shayla, did you have anything else?
No. That's perfect. Go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
I have I have a few. I'm trying to think just in case I can't go through a certain one or not, but I mean, Nathan knows this too. This is probably one of my most rewatchable movies across the board. It's just one that I love. I watch it every year at least, if not multiple times. And it's Remember the Titans, because fantastic sports movie. Left side. It's just like there's so many things it hits, and I connect with it because it's about people overcoming like division and learning to see each other as human beings first more than anything else. It's also a story about leadership and legacy, which is a part of it, like what you're going to leave behind and where you're going to go. But it's like one generation like influencing the next. Whenever the world outside feels divided, which is fairly often at the moment, it's a comfort that tells me that it's possible to come together. Even if it's just like a movie and like it's written that way. I know it's based off of real event. I don't know to what extent. Like I haven't actually looked into how much of that is like, has what's the word I'm looking for? That they've taken liberties with. I don't know if like there's certain stuff that's not completely accurate or whatever. Yeah. But it's nice to know that it's possible, even when certain times it seems impossible. Like this isn't really on my list because it's not a movie, but I've been watching the Hamilton musical a lot and listening to it. But it's also like it brings me back to the historical information of like when we were building up a country rather than feeling so divided. So that's been on replay a little bit as well. But Titans feels like just like a classic to me. I don't feel like there's anyone who can dislike the movie. It's got sports, it's got drama, it's got some like great comedy, it's got quotable stuff as well. I live for the day that I have either a boss or some sort of manager or some sort of like leader in like maybe an outside of work thing where I can say like I'm angry about whatever and then they say something back to me and I'm like, what?
Attitude reflect leadership.
Yeah, I'm like, I really want to say that line of just like attitude reflect leadership. And I'm just like, because like, how do you hit back with that? It's like, it's such a good line. But that movie makes me feel good. It's a feel good one.
Every performance in Remember the Titans is so good. There's not a false like note across the board from anyone. All of the supporting players, Denzel Washington, Ryan Gosling, Ryan Hurst, and then Wood Harris, right, who plays Julius. Like he's so freaking good in that movie. Like he's got funny, he's got anger, and it's not like lashing out anger. It's like this really controlled, pointed, he deserves to be angry given the shit that's going on. So like everything in that movie is so good. All the performances are great.
I've never walked away with that movie and been like, I was upset that I watched that for an hour and a half or whatever. I've just always been like, I know what I'm going to get from it. And that's kind of a comfort thing with shows and movies. Sometimes you know what you're getting into, and that's why you like it. Like National Treasure is another one like I will watch all the time, me and Sarah love, because we know like what we're getting into. We know how we're going to feel at the end. But yeah, Titans is one that stands out to me. Is just like, it hits quite a lot of genres. There's actually another movie on here I'll go into rotation that I feel like hits every genre that you possibly can, and but yeah, Nathan,
my final one does the same thing where it's like it's hitting every genre.
Okay.
I'm excited to go over that. I lost my train of thought, but I was going to say something. It was off of what you were saying, but now I've distracted myself into a corner.
Must not have been important.
How dare you?
You forgot it.
Every thought that's ever entered my brain is important. Well, Shayla, you've seen Remember the Titans, right?
I have, yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute, and I wanted to rewatch it. I honestly thought about adding it just because of, it's kind of like you said, Chris, that there's so many aspects to it, the leadership components, the concept of taking a disparate team that is at odds with each other and then trying to lead your way into collaboration and cohesiveness. is just I think it's an awesome concept, and football. Who doesn't like football, man?
Football.
I don't really like football.
Nathan's not a sports person.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I get that.
I do love a good sports movie though. Like Remember the Titans is up there. Moneyball. I
Great one.
don't care about sports. I don't care about math, but I
Moneyball's
freaking love Moneyball.
Yeah, that's a good.
Good one.
I was thinking about that one too. So, no, it's a good movie. All right. Well, we're at an hour. Should we? Maybe we don't need to speed run because I want to take the time that these movies deserve. But should we roll through our last? What do we have? 2 or 3 more?
I have 3. I will go in depth on one and do a little bit more shallow on the other 2 if Nathan wants to do.
Well, do you want me to do all 3 of mine, and then we can just do all 3 of Shaler's, and then Christian all 3 of yours? Or...
Well, we still want to cover your question. We want to hit your
Okay.
question because that one's going to take some time.
Okay, so
we'll do that.
we'll just keep going like we're going. We'll just go a little bit quicker. Okay, so my next one is Sound of Metal on Amazon Prime. Christian,
Oh, I still need to watch that one. I
You haven't seen
know I
it?
really want to. Yeah, I need.
Shaler, have you seen Sound of Metal?
I haven't. I wanted to, given my nature and proclivity for metal music. It's right up my alley, but I have not seen it yet.
So I think it's going to disappoint you, given your proclivity for metal.
And then
music.
maybe I won't.
So he's a drummer for a heavy metal band. And my reservation going in is because heavy metal music's not for me. But my reservation going in was like, there's going to be a lot of heavy metal music, and I find it bothers my brain, which no judgment on anyone. That's just me. But it's Riz Ahmed. It's Riz Ahmed, and he is a heavy metal drummer who starts losing his hearing.
Yeah.
And so, like, even with just like that little plot synopsis, you can kind of feel like, well, heavy metal's like the most important thing to him, being in this band, doing this thing. And then he starts losing this tool, his hearing, that allows him to partake in this thing that he loves. So he starts searching for these other solutions. And it becomes it's a drama in that sense, where it's like this thing that you love, you're losing it. What does your life look like when you're losing this thing that you love? How much are you going to trade and give to try and retain that, or is it even worth retaining? Can your life evolve and become something else? And then it's also this, I would say, heartbreakingly beautiful, like, little bit of a love story. And I don't want to ruin anything, but like, he's in a relationship with someone at the top, and the relationship kind of bookends either side of the movie. But who he is as a person at the end, and the way that he interacts and navigates things compared to what it was at the beginning, there is such a beautiful, sad, but really kind of like hopeful for people seeing each other. It's like in Remember the Titans, where it's like you have people bridging gaps and kind of seeing each other. And some of that is very intentional and very earned, and people are striving for it. But on the other side, like, some of it is like, this is just a thing that happens over time when you start treating everyone like they don't fit a function in your life. They're actually a human being. So just to see like what happens to the relationship in the beginning and then like towards the end is just, it breaks my heart in a good way every time. It's not like a tragic, very sad way, but like in a good way every time, like watching this. So Sound of Metal on Amazon Prime. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
I like that. I still want to check it out. I like the concept of the deeper meaning there of losing a thing you love and how to grapple with that. It's not a easy thing to go through, but something that all humans
A lot of
experience
people do, yeah.
at some point. So, okay, should I dive into mine? Next one. He's so excited, Chris. Don't look so excited, dude. This one I had to reach far back in the brain matter to pull to the forefront because it's been since high school that I watched it. Chris, I don't remember if you watched it with us. It was back in the days when you could watch Netflix on your Xbox, and you remember it would like let everyone come into the
The little theater. Yeah. That was one of our favorite things. We would watch movies like that. Like me, you,
Yeah.
all of us, we would sit and watch
Yeah.
those. Those were so fun.
So that's the main reason this one makes the list, because it's the most memorable one that we watched in that setting. it's also a hilarious movie, and a shout out to B movies. We give the A-list movies all the credit, but B movies sometimes can come up and represent. And Birdemic.
Yes, Birdemic. Yeah, baby.
That one, dude.
This is the first movie from today I have not seen.
Oh,
Like a really
man.
bad take of Hitchcock's The Birds, kind of. So,
I've heard of it.
they made a couple of them, I think.
Yeah, at least 2. I saw there was a sequel. I don't think we ever
man.
watched the sequel. But
Tell me how
it
you
was out
grappled
there.
with the emotional truths of Birdemic, Shaler.
Yeah, that one I don't know if I grappled with the emotional truths as much as just it was probably the funniest movie that we ever watched. I think you had to. So that's the thing, Nathan. You're gonna go watch it, and it's gonna be insufferable. But when you're watching it with your friends, and you're like 17 years old, and you're just being stupid, and it's like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think I ever laughed harder at a movie because
And
of
you got
how
off of like
terrible.
playing like a long run of Halo, and then we're like, let's go watch the stupid
Yeah.
movie 'cause none of us want to go to bed.
Yeah, it was awful.
One day,
but
Justin and I watched the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat movie 4 times back to back.
there you go.
It is really only like 70 minutes or 60, 70 some odd minutes of actual movie without credits, but it is so freaking funny, and it's not good. And there are some of the most inappropriate jokes ever in a kids movie, but I'm imagining it's the same vibe.
I think that's I actually I don't know where I was, but I watched a snippet of Cat in the Hat the other day, and it's exactly that. Yeah, it's like, wow, this is awful, and but it's hilarious.
Even the
You know, it's
tagline
super
of
funny.
Birdemic is terrible because it's like Birdemic, shock and terror, who will survive? It's like
Nice.
the most generic.
Well, the
thing
best part
ever.
is that if I remember right, the birds dive bomb and explode. Like that's their
Yeah, it was
their-
something like that,
That's
yeah.
like the
Now I'm
threat.
watching.
and it was all like, not even like iMovie editing. It was really bad.
Oh,
Like
yeah, it
whatever
was
it was
horrible.
editor.
But it was a good
Oh,
one.
what a
man.
good one.
It's a good
What a
memory.
geek.
That's
Oh,
the
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that movie is not nothing. The emotional connection there is Chris and me and some other friends watching just one of the worst movies of all time. But that memory is seared into my brain forever. So it's good
I'll have
times.
to add it to that list. Speaking of lines you just say like randomly out of context in Cat in the Hat when they have the Cupcake-inator. And just like whenever something like exciting happens, it's just like the Cupcake-inator. Like you can make cupcakes out of anything. Anything? Yes. Anything. Anything. I'll get you and I'll make it look like a bloody accident. So
That's a
good.
good one. Yeah, that's a very Mike Myers line.
I
He's
will
probably
just
It is.
improv that.
I'll run through. I'll say one that you guys probably know, probably have seen. A lot of people in the world have probably seen it, so I don't really need to tell people to watch it. But it's just like a call out to like a great movie. I love this movie because it captures the powerful idea that who we become can be a choice. Like it's a choice, and it's the Iron Giant, classic. Superman.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go too much in depth on it. I feel like it's obvious as to why that one's good, and that's kind of my main reasoning. But the other two I want to mention, I think, are movies I would suggest people watch. They're both subtitled, so if you don't like subtitles, what?
from the Iron Giant. No following. When he's in
I
the
was like,
forest,
what?
when he's in the forest,
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end, Hogarth's trying to go home. He tells the giant, "No following." But at the end, when the giant has to fly up towards the missile to save everyone, the giant says to Hogarth, "No following." If that doesn't break your heart, you're not a human being.
It's true.
Superman. All right. Anyway, so the two movies I would suggest that people have watched if they haven't seen. One is a Best Picture winner, so a lot of people have seen it, but it's Parasite.
Christian's like, no one's ever seen Parasite.
Parasite is the one that hits like every genre in the book, in my opinion. The main thing is like it's commentary on class, and it's Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Korean, right? So it's a South Korean movie. But yeah, the commentary on like class inequality and the visible barriers between people. I think the film invites like deeper discussion after it's over. Because you laugh during that movie, you can cry during that movie, you can be scared during that movie. There's like horrific stuff that happens in the movie. There's like mystery stuff. There's so many layers of just like it's like there's so much. There's just like a buffet of things to understand in this movie. And what's crazy is like 5-10 minutes in, I didn't even think about reading subtitles anymore. I was so invested in what was happening that I was reading and not even thinking about it. So from an artistic standpoint, like it's just like I admired this movie and like what it accomplished. It deserved Best Picture. It was so good. The last one. Have you seen that one? I don't think you have.
It's great, man. It's very emotional.
Very.
It's like Christian said. It somehow balances all the plates of
romance
all these genres without like causing them to crash all over the floor. It's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so unassuming too because the cover artwork of it, like the posters for it, kind of make it look like this weird horror thriller kind of darker movie, and it does have darkness to it, but it's not what you would expect by looking at the cover. Then the last one I want to say is Godzilla -1, another subtitled movie. Newer. I feel like a lot of people have seen it, but there's probably a huge audience that hasn't, and I think the biggest thing for me is, I mean, it's a monster movie, but it's grounded in like human themes like guilt, survival, redemption, and it's based off of, I mean, it takes kind of what I would say the U.S. and America kind of ruined with the Godzilla franchise and character. Because Godzilla was created...
Matthew Broderick did a great job, man, okay?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we won't stand for Matthew Broderick slander in here. Talk about how much you love Manchester by the Sea.
No one's talking about Ferris. So the reason that Godzilla is so incredible to begin with is he's a metaphor for the nuclear bombs that we dropped after World War II. And I'm not going to act like... Japan didn't do something crazy. A lot of people don't know that. I told people at work that. They don't know. His, like, breath is, like, the atomic. It's, like, what it's based for. And he's huge destruction. And this Godzilla -1, Nathan knows, he levels the city. It's insane. And it ties in with the war really well. But the movie also speaks to what the U.S. did to Japan. It's not, like, to say that the U.S. wasn't provoked in Pearl Harbor. Obviously, like, there was some provocative stuff happening. And they killed lots of people. But... I feel like looking back on it, so many years later, so many decades later, it feels like the equivalent of a 12-year-old like punching you in the face, so you set him on fire. I feel like the rebuttal was just so definite and absolute and just so insane when you think about it. And I was doing research today, and it was like a lot of people at the time, like pretty much everyone was okay with it that had happened. But then as time moved on, obviously everyone was like, well... Could we have just, like, shown force without actually doing it and just been like, hey, here's this. We will level you like this if you know what I mean? So, anyways, to me, like, Godzilla -1 is a really good, honest tale of, like, from a soldier perspective, like, rebuilding after the war, like, what they had to go through to stop this creature. There's so much stuff. It's incredible. I don't know. Recommend it 100%. It's another subtitled film. I don't know if there's a dub version, but do not watch it. It's so good as is.
I don't know if this is true, but I saw this a lot in articles and stuff that the Godzilla -1 title is because like it is post World War II where like the nuclear bombs got dropped. And so -1 is because like the country was already at zero and like they couldn't get any worse. And so now they have this giant lizard that's putting them below zero even more. It is a really emotional film, and it has such a unique narrative because have you seen it, Shaylor?
I have. Yep. That is a great one.
Because the protagonist is a coward, right? Like that's how the movie starts. Like that's not a surprise to anyone. Like the protagonist is a coward, and that's kind of how the movie gets set up. It's really good.
You were confused, Chris. You're like, wait a minute, that guy was a hero.
I had a joke pop into my head.
You're like, wait a minute, that's what I would have done. You're saying he's a coward?
I've been a cowardice man my whole life. No, I had a joke pop into my head, and then I was like, it's not worth it. It's a dumb joke.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it.
Ooh,
all right. Nathan, what's your last one?
Wait.
Oh,
were those your final? Those were your finals?
Yeah, those are my final ones. So,
maybe
you want me to do my last two then? Because I have two left, Christian.
Let me go first.
Okay, you go.
Because his are going to be a lot better than mine.
That's just code for Nathan runs his mouth a lot.
No. Just better picks. Actually, I don't know. I had them. They're not even that important. I guess we could just skip them. But
he's like Rugrats in Paris.
The report on Amazon Prime.
I was gonna. Well, you said the Iron Giant. For some reason, I thought of the Brave Little Toaster. I was like, oh, that's a good.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one, man. And the Goofy movie, dude. Those are both phenomenal films. Those weren't the ones I had. The ones I had were Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. Honestly, I don't know. Retrospect, I don't know. I watched that movie a lot growing up. It came out when we were in high school. So, but there's just something about Robert Downey Jr. in that role. I know Benedict did a great job as well, arguably potentially a better Sherlock overall, but it just felt like Robert Downey Jr., for all he probably gets a lot of flack, but you can't find a better actor to play that type of like Tony Stark and Sherlock Holmes are like the same character, you know. What is
I am
this?
Sherlock Holmes.
What is that?
what are you doing?
Is that Benedict?
I am Sherlock Holmes. No, I was doing the I am Iron Man thing, but Sherlock
Oh,
Holmes.
I get you.
All right, I'll see you guys later. I'm out.
Yeah, please.
He's dead. He's gone. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. did a great job. And then, is it Guy Ritchie that directed that? I
It
can't
is Guy
remember.
Ritchie.
Yeah.
He did
I
a
like both of
cool.
them.
Yeah, he did a cool job of just the fight scenes and how Sherlock kind of the retelling of how Sherlock came to those conclusions. I just thought it was pieced together very well. So I like that one. And then the other one I
So
had was
entertaining, so fun.
what's that?
So entertaining, so fun. Both
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
movies, like all the way through.
Yeah, nothing overly dramatic about them, but fun to watch. And then the other one I had was kind of a duel into the psychological thriller type movies. You've got, there's like Inception and Tenet and some of those maybe newer ones, but I feel like the ones that don't get a lot of credit are the ones that I find better, which is Memento and Shutter Island. Very different movies,
I thought
but
you were going to name all Christopher Nolan movies.
yeah.
He's like the Prestige.
He was like, I like
Yeah.
Memento and The Prestige. He's like, I don't like these other two.
No, I still like it. They just get a lot of
Yeah.
credit. Inception gets a lot of credit
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But I don't know.
Memento's
I
good.
like Shutter Island and Memento. Shutter Island probably. There's pieces of it that I'm sure not a lot of people love, but the reveal at the end, it just I was young when I saw it, but I just had no clue it was coming, and so it was just that much more like baffling as a movie. So that one stuck with me.
Memento's fantastic. Memento's one of the movies where it's like I watched it, probably years after it came out. But when I watched it the first time, I was just like, a movie can do this, where
Yeah.
it's like I am emotionally invested still in what's going on, but I'm also confused, but I'm still like fascinated on what the next step is going to be. Yeah, fantastic. I love Memento. Shutter Island's really good. It's very moody.
Yeah,
What do you say?
Leonardo, he
Leo.
pulls it off, man.
Nard Leo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what's
Round
the
us
last
out.
one or ones, whatever you
That's
got?
two left. Okay.
All right, do
So-
one quicker and then do one more detailed.
Shut your mouth. No, I'll go quick on one and I'll do one detail. Okay, so my second to last one is one that I watched, I believe last year for the first time. It's really fantastic. I can't even really take credit for it. So I love Christopher McQuarrie. He wrote The Usual Suspects. He directed and wrote a lot of the modern Mission Impossible movies, like pretty much all of them since 2015. Not pretty much, all of them since 2015. And the way that he looks at movies and art and performance and cinema and cinematography, I just love the way that he approaches it. And he talks about this movie from 1958 called The Big Country. So that's the movie that I'm bringing forward. He describes it as like a Sunday morning movie. Like you wake up Sunday morning, you like wander out to the room and you put like AC, like Turner Classic Movies on or something, and it plays for 3 hours. But it is such a beautiful, wonderful story. It's a Western. And it's about a man who's coming from the East Coast to the West Coast, and he's fixing to marry a woman whose family lives not to the West Coast, but in the West, just the West in general. A woman who's got a family who's got like a turf war going on with this other kind of family that lives more towards like the mountains, and it's all about like water rights. But the movie is about like the big overarching theme on it is kind of like about bullying, excuse me, and like what's your responsibility? Shut up. It's about
Billing. They're in an office. It's
It's an office. It's like, how are we staying compliant with all the laws in Utah right now? In Colorado, But no, it's about bullying, and it's kind of about like other people's perceptions of you. So I do want to read a quote from it. So one of the early scenes in the movie is about one of the early scenes in the movie has all of these guys kind of rough up the lead character, and as he's like coming into town for the first time, and he doesn't fight back. He just kind of sits there and talks to them as they're like lassoing him and running around him with horses and kicking dust in his face and knocking him over. And he doesn't really fight back. And that is kind of a line that he takes throughout the movie, where it's just like he's not pushing back against this type of person. And eventually the woman he's intending to marry asks, "Don't you care what people think of you?" at one point, after she was kind of like accusing him of being a coward. And he said, "I'm not responsible for what people think. I'm only responsible for what I am." So he's looking at it like, I'm not, people can think whatever they want. If they want to push me around and think that they've gotten better of me, let them have it. Like, their thought doesn't do anything. Like, it's irrelevant. I'm only responsible for the type of person that I am. And he holds true to that throughout the movie. And it's such a beautiful, wonderful lesson about like rumors and navigating people and dealing with bullies and dealing with like bullshit in high school or bullshit at work when other people are talking crap, where it's like they can say whatever they want because their opinion does not manifest fact. Their opinion is their opinion. It doesn't mean anything. But The Big Country, I think it's wonderful. It's almost 3 hours, like 2 hours, 45 minutes, but it's absolutely worth it. It doesn't have, it's paced very well given that it was released in the late 50s. It's really good. Okay, I'll do my last one. Neither of you have seen The Big Country, I'm guessing. I've been trying to get Christian to watch it for a long time now.
That's not true. He's never mentioned it once.
Hey, have you seen The Report on Amazon Prime?
Zing.
I haven't. I actually heard that movie. Anyone who watches that movie is a loser.
Whoa, dude. You need to watch Big Country, learn about bullying, bro.
I prefer Small Country.
What you
Small
think?
Country.
I'm only responsible for what I am, and what I am is a proponent of The Report on
There you
Amazon
go.
Prime.
Big Country, by the way, has Burl Ives in it. That's pretty sweet.
It does. Yeah.
Chris,
Wait,
you
wait,
love
wait.
Christmas songs, so Burl Ives.
Fucking
for
Christian,
you,
like,
dude.
oh, I'm going to watch The Big Country now because I love Rudolph.
He busts out a
No.
little Holly Jolly Christmas in that one, I heard.
You guys know how sexist Rudolph is? When's the last time you guys watched Rudolph?
I
Sorry.
haven't seen it in a while. I'll pay attention next time.
Okay. So my last one is the movie I always suggest for everyone whenever they're like looking for a movie, and I'm usually like, what are you feeling? What kind of movie do you want to watch? But at the back of my mind, I'm like, give me one of these like 8 emotions because I'm going to give you this one movie, and it's Mud from 2012 with Matthew
Good one.
McConaughey. Have you either of you seen it?
I've seen Dirt.
I've seen Holes.
You show Dirt from FX. Ran for
I've
2
seen.
seasons.
No. I've seen
No,
Dirt.
let's talk about Dirt. The show that ran on FX for 2 seasons.
I've
starring
seen
Courtney
Dirt.
Cox. Go ahead.
And I've seen the movie Water, but I haven't seen the full trilogy where it ends in mud. I haven't
Weird.
seen
I
that
didn't
one.
know someone
Holes.
invited Dad to this podcast. Can we mute him?
Ooh.
Sure,
I
kick
can-
him. Kick
I
him from the
can mute him,
podcast.
actually. I don't know
No.
if it sticks, though. There you
Anyway,
go.
have you seen Mud?
I
Matthew
haven't.
McConaughey?
I haven't. No, I don't even ever heard of it.
Okay. So it is fantastic. It is a Christian's losing his mind because he can't talk for
muted.
5 seconds.
No.
It is a modern fairy tale coming of age romance crime thriller. That is how I would describe it. The lead is Ty Sheridan, who went on to be like Cyclops in the younger Cyclops in like the more modern movies, X-Men movies. But basically, he and his friend, his friend's name is Neckbone, but he and his friend
Neckbone's
end up
attached to the
finding a
hip bone.
boat in a tree after a hurricane. They just find a boat in a tree, and they're like, "This is our boat now." Blah blah blah. Like they're being kids, right? Like they're living like that kind of like whimsical kind of part of their life where it's just like, this is exciting, this is cool. I don't know how this works. This is ours. We're gonna have a tree house. Basically, we're gonna have this hangout. But they find that someone is living in it. Someone's living in the boat, and this movie takes place in Arkansas. So there are a lot of homes that line this river, and a lot of people make their living off the river. So they find that a criminal basically is living in the boat, and he's been on the run from the law, but they don't know what for. They don't know what exactly. They just know like he's like kind of like dirty and homeless, and then they find out a little bit later that he's on the run. And Matthew McConaughey plays the character Mud, and he's the character that's on the run. But he's come back to this town because he's in love with a woman who is kind of retreated to where she was from, and she's like staying at a local motel. So they're like, well, we want this boat, we want to do this, we want to do that. So they start kind of like trading with him, where it's like they want something from him. So he's like, well, take her a letter and do this, bring me food, and I'll do this for you, I'll do that. So they kind of start trading. And there's a lot of themes in it about family. There's themes in it about parents, best friends. Kind of fairy tale is always the thing that comes to mind, because when you watch it, it's like you feel very much in the kid's perspective, where it's just like you don't really understand this character. You do as the movie goes on, but when you first meet him, it's just kind of like this mystical thing. Like, you guys ever remember like having older siblings where like their friends came over and they were like calm and cool people, or maybe like your parents had like family friends and it kind of had that weird energy. Like it was kind of like that, where it was kind of like, what is this? What's going on with this person? This is a different type of vibe than I've gotten from like other people before, where it's like they're kind of cool. It's just something in that vein where it's like, it's so freaking moving. It makes me emotional even just thinking about it. Like all the stuff that like the characters go through in the movie, and all the bits and pieces, and it's like learning where your place is in the world, what's right, what's wrong, learning kind of what life looks like. I think it's a really beautiful movie. I love it. And Matthew McConaughey, he's exceptional in that movie. But Christian, what are your thoughts on it?
It's no dirt. I'm sorry, no. I did like that movie actually a lot. I think that movie.
Tell Courtney Cox what you said.
I did actually think that. I feel like that's a movie where it feels like something that could have happened to you. It does kind of feel, I don't want to use fly on the wall, but it feels like a scenario that some people at some point have come across, where you find yourself in this kind of weird, bizarre situation with someone you don't know, and you're just like, how did I get here? I just remember watching that and thinking, like, this feels like a very like obscure but kind of genuine moment that like you would tell 40 years later about some story about like what happened and how it affected your life. I do remember liking that quite a bit. Again, I don't think I would have said that was on your list necessarily. It does make total sense. I just don't think I would have guessed it. It's a good one, though.
It's from Jeff Nichols, so he did Shotgun Stories, Loving, Midnight Special. If you've seen any of these movies, like they're so Take Shelter, it's like slice of life Americana, but like a very romanticized version of it. In particular, I love Mud, but Loving is also really good. Loving's based on a true story. And Michael Shannon's in like every single one of his movies. Michael Shannon is great. He's got a smaller part in Mud, but dang, it is such an emotional movie. Like, it's so good. The crime part of it, which I forgot to kind of mention, is like he's on the run for a reason, and like these bad guys are like kind of chasing him, and like things come to a head in a very very exciting way, and all of the stories kind of crash together, and it's really good. I cannot recommend it enough.
Good choices. I think good, all around, like all pretty good movies brought up. I think some fun ones, some middle of the ground ones, some kind of heavy ones. I like it. I like you guys' picks. All right.
And this podcast is brought to you by the report.
We should do.
I'm starting Adam Driver.
We're getting close to the end, so we're going to do Nathan's question that we had him bring. Do you have it in front of you? If not, I can read it. But if you have it, I'm letting you to read it.
I do. So, what do you hope you will be thinking about most on your deathbed? And how do you live your life in a way that your prediction will come true?
Shayla, did you have time to analyze this, or do you want to think about it right now? I have my answers.
Hope neither of you analyzed this, because
I just meant like I thought about like what my answer was. I just didn't know if you had a chance to or not.
I've thought about it a little bit. I'm gonna let you answer though.
You want me to go first? All right.
I ran mine through ChatGPT. That's what I meant by I analyzed it. But
Oh my god.
He's like, I took a photo of it and I looked at it.
it's a personal,
He's like,
very
tell them you love your family.
yeah.
So I have a
personal
two-part.
question. Yeah.
Two parts. So first part, my wife Sarah. I would say, and I wrote this down. She's given me so much in this
married?
life. Yes, she's given me so much in this life, from confidence, encouragement, and ability to check myself for mistakes I'm making in the moment, to like the laughs that we've shared, the places we've traveled in the world that I never thought I would probably ever see. She's given me herself, which is something that I'm so terrified to lose. But I'm grateful I have someone that makes me feel that way to begin with. And the second thing would be the help I was able to give to others. If there's one thing I wanted to be remembered for, it's that like I showed up to help when and where I could, which is not always possible. I know it's impossible to show up everywhere, and that's actually something that gives me like massive amounts of anxiety when someone needs help, and even at work and they ping me, I'm like, I want to help. Like I don't want to be a yes man. I'm not like a hype yes man, but I do want to try to help, even if it's in a small increment. But I'm so focused on being there for others that it sometimes creates a bottleneck of tension for me. So I need to like work that out because I want to make sure that's directed at people that matter as well in the long term. But I hope I did enough that when I'm gone, people can say, yeah, I remember him. He was always willing to help. Or yeah, I remember he helped me with XYZ, and maybe that affected their life in a positive way and led them to doing something better. So I would say Sarah sticks out just because there's so much that she has like created for me in my world. And then I would say the ability to help others. I hope that stands out. Those would probably be the two that would matter the most. Off the rip, I don't know.
No,
From
I like
earlier.
those.
This is not going to age well when you get divorced twice and you're on your third wife and she hears this and she's like, he's thinking about his original wife.
It's true. I'll never not think about her, even if that happens.
And I'm telling Coda that he didn't even come to mind.
He'll live. I mean, he won't, but he'll live.
Dark.
Morbid. Okay.
But that's mine.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like those. I think mine evolved a little bit. I when I read that, I had some quick thoughts. Like you said, Nathan, honestly, ChatGPT was right. Think about your family. That is what I thought about. But I think it evolved.
Those are like your final words. You're just
Yeah.
like, ChatGPT was
Wait.
right.
Yeah. I'm on my deathbed asking it what I should be thinking about. Wait, I'm dying. So come on, tell me. I've lost my capacity to critical think. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to be thinking right now? No, I'll say this too about your question. When I read it, whenever you sent it, a few days ago or whatever, again, that was kind of the quick answer was like, well, something to like my family, right? That's what I want to be focused on. But I also, I felt the pressure of the last part of like, what are you doing now to kind of make that happen? And so I'll say that it kind of inspired me a little bit as I've been going through this process of like, I think I've talked about it on the podcast in general, but going through this phase in life of being a little bit apathetic at the moment and just kind of letting life happen. And so anyways, your question kind of gave me a little jolt, and I was like, you know what? I need to step up a little bit, take a little more responsibility for the course of my life. So first of all, thank you for that and your inspired question. It's helped me quite a bit over these last couple of days. And then I'll say what it's kind of changed into my answer to the first part of like, what would I want to be thinking about on my deathbed is probably just the little experiences with my family. I thought a little bit about the perpetuation of family. Like what would I want to be, what I want to be thinking about, like what I passed on to my kids. That might be a thought that may run through did I make sure I passed on the right lessons? I may be thinking that on my deathbed, but at some point kind of through that thought process, I was like, I probably just want to be focused on the memories, like just the little things that my kids did as they were growing up, or the small things that I spent my time with my wife doing, even if they're not big trips or big experiences, or just like, for instance, a fond memory I have of my daughter is when she was 2. She's 7 now, so it was a long time ago for me, relatively a long time ago. But her just watching some show. It was Halloween time. She was watching some little, it was like a baby shark thing, but it was Halloween themed, and she's dancing around and just little things like that, right? Like, I hope that's what I'm focused on and remembering at the end of my life. And so in addition to just taking responsibility generally for my life a little more than I have been, just kind of trying to move myself out of the apathy, also focusing on living in the present a little bit more than I think I have been. I've been kind of stuck in the past. I've been stuck in the future a little bit of like, what am I going to do? I've got to change things. I got to be better. I got to be different. Maybe try and slow down a little bit and just say, it's okay, right? Like, just take it in. Tomorrow, my youngest son, who's 2 right now, he's going to be 7, and I won't have those same memories. So just try and suck it in as much as I can right now. So
I think that's wonderful, man. Taking accountability for like the stuff going on in your life is like really tough, but like it's also really key to being able to like move past it and do something about it.
yeah, not have regrets later on.
Christian, I feel like you didn't answer the second part.
It's kind of a no. I thought about that when Shaler was kind of going through his, and it was based around like helping other people. But if you're tying it to like the Sarah aspect, I guess you could kind of group it in, because I've talked about this before with Shaler, and probably with you, but I feel like we grew up with a dad who was so focused on like hyper focused on making sure that everyone around him was so like well treated, and by around him I mean people in sports, people at work, people in everything but our family necessarily. I feel like he gave like unique attention to them that was very different from the attention he gave to us. And I find myself doing that sometimes, and I'm trying to stop it. That is basically what I want to do that would affect both of those things, is help people that like have a long-term, what's the word? Just help people that will be in my life for the long term.
Like not taking for granted the fact that this person's around, like not taking Sarah for granted, not taking
it's
I don't know, your older brother for granted, not taking Coda for granted, not taking, I don't know, Shaler for granted.
I'm rolling my eyes if you can't see it. No, well, it's more like I feel like our dad like gave a lot of attention to other people that was super positive, and they got the like, yeah, like happy like person that was always on. And then I feel like sometimes I'll catch myself doing that, and then when I come home, me and Sarah will kind of get like, I'll give her like a very meh version of me, and I don't want that to be the case. Like, I want her to get like the good energy, so I don't want to repeat that cycle. So I feel like that plays into both, because it's like helping other people but setting the barrier of like, hey, like, I see you a little bit through, every week or every couple weeks or whatever, but like, you're not my life. Like, we can be like extended friends, acquaintances, whatever it is, but it's like, you're not in that immediate grouping of people that I will have for this longevity. Like, I just feel like I need to stop giving energy to those smaller things where it's like a year from now, 10 years from now, that person we don't even talk. Can't remember their name. Like, I don't want to give my energy to people that won't be around.
I like that. When you go in on someone, you want to go all in. You don't want to give like 15 pieces of yourself to 15 different people. You want to give all of yourself to maybe 3 people.
Yeah, and I just want the focus to be towards the people. Like, I want them to get the better version of me, not the outsiders to get the better version. Which seems so easy because it's so shallow to like put yourself on and be like, yeah, but then go home and be like, oh, you can kind of release, and that person gets to see the real you, which is fine. I feel like, and Shayla, you get this because you obviously have a long-term relationship, and you guys get to see the real person. Like, you're like, this guy, like blah blah blah, and you can kind of be very open about stuff, and you can be like, you will appreciate this disdain that I have. I'm just going through something, and I'll be honest with you, but like, you also want to give them like the good stuff. Like, if you start just giving them that, then they're just saturated in that, and that turns into like a pit in your stomach that turns into it's just something nasty. So yeah, that's kind of my approach. What's yours, Nathan?
Like, my answer to the question? It's weird because I asked this and I didn't really think about it that much. I think.
All right, it's been the podcast. We'll see you guys later.
Wait, we have to wait for my special guest. It's Adam Driver from The Report on Amazon Prime, everyone. All right, the well's dry on this. I get it.
Bye, Adam.
Okay. What do I think about most on my deathbed? I'll think a lot about, and it's kind of in conjunction with what you were just talking about, Christian, like when it's like, I feel like I don't let a ton of people in. Like I like my people in. Like I like where I know like I'm not going to have to do a lot of maintenance on this friendship, this relationship, this whatever the thing is. But I mean, I've had the same best friend since 3rd grade. And like we're attached at the hip and we have a lot in common. We have a lot of differences, but we have a lot in common. So I feel like I'm going to be thinking about that a lot and how grateful I am to have been able to navigate and go through my life with someone where it's, I don't want to say it's easy and discount stuff that hasn't been easy, but I want to say like it's been such a privilege. It has been such a joy in my life, and there's been so many strong memories. Like going to the movies is like my home, right? Like that's my home, and wherever like my best friend is, like that feels like home. Like right wherever, it doesn't matter where it is. So I think like that's going to come up a lot. I think I'm going to be thinking a lot about movies that have moved me in a lot of ways. I'm going to be thinking about childhood. I'm going to be thinking about mom. I'm going to be thinking about my siblings and kind of just experiences we all had together. So kind of like Shaler's as well, where it's like memories. But I think the thing that I'm going to want to be focused on the most, at least right now at this point in my life, is just like how grateful I am to have had a best friend where it's like we get to just, it's been 26 years and we got to just run this whole fucking thing together. Like, I feel like we're getting something over on the world. Like, it shouldn't be this good. It shouldn't be like this, but it is. So I'm just so grateful for that. And like, even if I tried to fuck off right now and be like, no, we're not friends anymore. It's like, that's still more than like a quarter of my life. That's like, you know, a third of my life, like at least. And it's just gratitude for that. It's just nothing but gratitude for being able to have a hetero life mate I can just share things with. So that, I think that's where I would be if I were to die tomorrow. Like that's what I would be on my deathbed thinking about.
I like that.
Great question, Nathan.
Yeah, it was a great question. No, it was very good.
No, I liked it. I appreciated the double, like kind of 2 in 1.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't answer the other part.
You kind of did.
Yeah, it's. I'll go quick. It's just taking care of that relationship. It's making it a priority. And like when you're young, you feel like you don't have to prioritize those things. Like you guys have been friends for a long time, but like even when you're younger than that, you're just like, you like Pokemon? I like Pokemon. We like Pokemon. We're playing Pokemon. We're talking about Pokemon. Like it's like easy. Like it's a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Like as you get older, like sometimes you feel like, well, this thing hurt my feelings, and I don't know why it hurt my feelings, and I need to explore like why I'm upset about this thing. Like, and just having someone that you can just be like, my feelings are hurt, and then they can just be like, you being dumb, or is this real right now? Like, there's just something very honest and fun and light and serious and wonderful about that. So just being intentional, I guess, is the way I maintain and try to make sure that is a thing that comes true.
I like that. Feels like the common thread. What?
Yeah.
What did you
maintenance.
say?
Also, the name of the name of Nathan's biography is Movies That Move Me.
Nice.
What?
You said that earlier. You were like, movies that move me, and I was like, sounds like your name of your autobiography.
I'm gonna wait till you say something stupid, and I'm gonna say name of your sex tape.
Ooh, that's
but
a good
mine's
one.
nicer.
That's a
I was
classic.
being real. You're being mean.
I was gonna say you could call it Natenance, right? Like,
All right, boo.
hey,
Title. That's not a boo.
Come on,
That's
man.
All
fantastic.
right, if you guys
he's
God, he's
a
gone.
little sensitive today.
today.
Yeah, just today. Well,
I can't believe you left Coda out. Poor little kitty.
So,
He's like, fuck that cat.
it's complicated with animals. They don't live as long, and they affect your life. And like, I'll be grateful for everything that like
Well, I've
of
asked
any
Christian,
pet
like,
that I have.
what's the most important thing in your life? And he'll be like, Sarah, Coda, Art. And I'm like, I'd like to come up at some point in the list.
You're just after he stops. You're just when he's finally done naming
But
things.
you're right out of the top 20.
It was
you're
right there.
You're
Actually, you're the negative one. It's Christian -1.
Ooh,
You're
is
right.
that a good
yeah,
thing
if
or
I
a
die,
bad
that's the
thing?
name of your autobiography. If your brother dies, it's Christian -1.
I think I came up with the name of mine. It was like 6'5" and still reaching, I think was the name of mine. I was like, that's so good.
I was playing Minecraft with Justin, and you know how you just get like a ton of different random blocks? And he was trying to find me, and he was like, where are you going? And I was like, follow the bridge of Pumpkin and Stone. And I was like, Bridges of Pumpkin and Stone. That's the name of my autobiography.
That's a good one too. I would
Sounds
pick
like the Bridgerton season. Bridgerton, Pumpkins and Stone. I'm sorry. You took a shot at me. I had to fire back. Go ahead, Sheila. What were you going to say?
I don't have it. I can't trump that. You got it.
All right. I think I know what we should do.
Wait, Shayla, you work at a cookie factory. There's got to be a good autobiography named in there somewhere.
It probably is, huh? To be fair, though, I've only worked there for a couple years, so if it's the name of my
Oh,
entire
I got it.
autobiography, that's gonna
Crumbling.
there. That's a good one actually for a lot of reasons. So
Yeah.
that one
Danny-
applies to
Danny-
my whole life.
Danny could use it because Danny's could be the day that the cookie dipped me or something stupid. All right, I'm out. I gotta be.
You're off your rocker, dude.
I'm
Can you actually
tired.
get him out of here? Like, this
Getting tired.
bit's...
All right, Shaylor, show him the new intro we came up with. It's really good.
You guys
Any
really
final
want to see
thoughts?
it?
Any final thoughts before he shows the intro? Nathan, thank you for coming on.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Thank
the
you.
question was good. I like it. Me and Shay like talking about media and movies and stuff, so this was fun.
do.
So
Yeah.
Like how you're like, the question's good. Like, do you ever a guest come on, you're going to be like, your question was fucking shit. Like,
We
let's
should.
fucking get it together next time.
We should say that to somebody, just for fun.
Amber, no, whenever you have Amber on, no matter how good the question is, just be like, why was that garbage?
Yeah.
hey, you know what?
It's
Just
garbage.
thanks for coming on, but like that question, what was that? Like I don't.
It's a 10-minute episode. This was a terrible question.
Like, you talk about Nathan's, we're done real quick.
Yeah. Well, all
All
right.
right, Nathan, you want to see the outro?
This is it's a new one. It's new as of today. I
It's
came
cool.
up with it earlier. It's pretty
Did
magical.
you change the song, or did you keep the song that you showed me? Pretty good. All right, thank you for indulging my randomness. I'm trying out things. Surprised it only took like 3 takes. So how's
like 12 episodes for you to let me on here? Dang.
that
You're on
10?
11.
This is 11. This is number 11.
I'm sorry, 11. My bad.
How's everything going? How's everybody's days?
It's fine.
Pretty good. Do
Monday.
you want to introduce?
Well, we're just
the
chilling
guest?
right now.
Oh,
we don't
we're
have
just
to do
chilling.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just chilling for a couple minutes.
Secret
Feel
guest.
it out.
You'll
See if
find
we
out
have any
later.
other. Well, this will be
We'll
at the
find out
end.
later.
Remember, this always ends up being cut to the end. For
I'm
those
looking
people that
forward
watch
to
the
finding
end.
out who I am.
Yeah, you may never know. We may get to the end of this and
You never
still
know.
not know. We'll give it like a minute or so. See if we have any other random issues, omens pop up. Just because cursed beginning.
Omens. That's a good one. That's a good movie. The Omen.
Damien.
Well, 666. Of how we all just said one thing we know about it and then nothing else.
It must not be that great of a movie, actually.
I don't think I've ever seen the original Omen.
I don't think I've seen any of the omens.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of them either. They don't appeal to me really.
I've seen the OG.
Oh, really?
It's not. It's just yeah. Some of
How
those
does it hold
'80s
up?
horrors are like good in a funny way. That was not The Omen. It was neither funny nor good.
Oh no, someone's getting feedback. I heard a. I don't know who it came from.
That'd have been me. It was maybe a ding on my phone.
Oh, I came through your speaker like.
It came in because my messages are
All right. Well, I guess we can jump in.
You guess.
Do you want to say anything out of pocket, Shaler, before, so I can cut it right there?
Yeah,
Just
let me
something
check.
random out of pocket.
Let me check. Sometimes I have
Literally
things
out
in
of
my
pocket?
pocket.
All right.
That's one's empty. Well, let me check the other side.
Well, we
Just
could be here
bear
all
with
day.
me.
If you have cargo pants on, we're gonna be here for a while.
I do
I haven't
actually.
seen my pockets right now either.